Sanibonani. My name is Akile Mataba, and I am a fairly new business owner Yagwa Forever Living. I'm feeling so many things about this new journey. To be honest with you, there is a bit of, you know, slight anxiety there, because if I get in out of Timbili, I'm getting in out. So one thing though, a clear gave me more than anything. I'm very eager to make this work for me. I'm not just trying it out, but life is placing a demand that this actually works for me. And Longutanzago about this business, and that I've come to understand is the fact that it will work for you if you work it. So involenjalo ikahle ngoba it demands your involvement. It's not just something that will just automatically yield a return for you. You have to involve yourself in the systems, particularly the process corner of earning, of growing. So that part is natural to me. That part makes logical sense. So logo, because it's not a foreign thing to me, will literally be a walk in the park. Just following a set program, Igakulo, because looking at the business and the way it functions, I'm joining under someone, a very amazing woman. I invite you to actually check her out. Her name is Call Me Mrs. Lamini, and it's one of her handles. It's just in her words Mbali Lamini, but then she has a / Call Me Mrs. Lamini. Just look her up. Feed on her content, because I promise you there's no way you're not going to want to join this opportunity, because her authenticity in the way in which she conducts it, in the way in which she presents it as a solution to life's problems, honestly. And in listening to her, I found myself actually saying, you know what, this is a solution, to my life at this, present journey, and season that I'm in. It makes, sense to add an income stream through this business. Now, I had heard of it before. I had seen so many, flyers about. I had seen, people's videos about it, but I never got to this point where it's, I'm going to take a chance on this, and in an openness of heart, start the journey. So I won't unpack the story quite yet. I think I'm not quite ready. But basically, what I will share is this. I'm a financial services professional. So I have come to understand, not just by God's grace, but just availability of information in the space that I'm in. Going practical in whether you are salaried in extremes, in abundance, or you are salaried in a very conservative way, the life that we want to experience, it is not easy to do those things with one income stream. So at a basic level, that I already have an understanding of. So somewhere, in that space of demandly and assisting people set up their own financial futures, obviously I already had the understanding I'm in my income streams. But then I'm a very methodical person. In order to get there. But circumstances of life as of recent just, shook some things a bit. That said to me, you know what, you need to find something and jump into it now. The plan that you have in place, is not going to profit you right now. You need to add an income stream right now. So my experience of life that I will share as we continue our journey together basically said, you either make the choice to add an income stream now, or and honestly, I am too fine to live stressed. I refuse to get wrinkles on this face. I just refuse. So I will then later connect with this amazing lady that I've shared with you, Nkosi Dlamini. we would start the conversation on TikTok and move it to WhatsApp, and then bond so well. I have never met a person so real, so authentic, so genuine. You know what I mean? His spirit is just right. Yabona ati ukhuluma naye in a general sense, and hear her talk about this forever living business as a solution to the practicality of everyday life. You kind of help her be taken. So she presented that to me in the way that she did, and nguthanzile honestly, more than anything, Dendela Yami research, of course, this is followed by a presentation that she immediately invited me into the first conversation we had on WhatsApp. So I joined the presentation where, so much life was poured into me. I think the presentation, Begna Kochi the Great, you can also look her up on TikTok. She basically said to me in no shorter words, the story is radical. The story is insane, But between mine and hers is the fact that there are circumstances face. Now, it is always a question of whether you are going to drown or swim. So now, when she tells the story, I was so inspiring, by the way. It wasn't just motivational, but it was such a powerful story that said you can change your circumstances in this life. Permanent. There is a role that you have to play in the experience of life that you are having. I will see go helpless as it feels. You have options. And if it feels like you don't, it's because when you challenge your misinformation and lack of information, it's not that you're stuck. It's not that you can't change your circumstances. It's not true. You can. And so listening to her story about how she started from zero, when you hear her foundation, when she started in 2016 to where she is now, my gosh, the things she has achieved, the level of safety that she has created for her children. I mean, I'm amazed. So hearing that, I'm not starting, off of a bad foundation. I'm quite alright, but I don't want to be just alright. I want more. I want options. I want to be able to, determine the use of my time. I don't want that to be controlled. I don't. And so it's really as simple as that. It is wanting more liberty, which financial abundance, brings for me. And there is a personal story in there that obviously, as I said, but it's just really to share that with you. I've started this journey of becoming a forever business owner, and and what I wanted to also share was that I've already started actually using these products. Le story now. This is this is a part of it. So after our meeting with my leader, she actually just gave me this and said, try it out, and honestly, I'm seeing some changes, very very personal changes now. If you're a girl, you know what I mean. So because what I've seen about this business, you kind of need to be very open, and I am, but there's a level in which I need to still get comfortable in order to be that open, But today is just to introduce my face and to say we're going to be seeing a lot of each other, and I look forward to connecting with you on the other end, to present Lama Products as a solution to your own life, and more than anything, to not just have you buy, but to also, get you to a point where now you're provoked, into anger, to say, I'm grateful for it, but I want more. That's really what I want. That's what I'm hoping, you will get on the other end of this line. Toodles for now.